Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. I am back home from Boulder, Colorado. It was an amazing several days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday workshops um, with what I perceive to be the best of the best in the mind-body space, TMS, neuroplastic pain, perceived danger pain and symptoms. Everybody from scientists to doctors to therapists to Sarno's daughter to the greats of this community were all there. There's 268 people. There was a huge component of physicians there to learn more about this, psychologists, psychiatrists, scientists doing deep research on this stuff. There's probably at least 20 presenters over the course of the 2.5 days, and it was a great experience, not just from the standpoint of learning, but also networking with all of these amazing people doing such amazing work. So, I'm back. There was one thing that was said that I want to highlight today because I think it's so important. And it's this. If you think you have XYZ wrong with you, you won't get better. And this is a very harsh truth, and I really hope I don't scare anybody by saying this. But at the same time, I hope I scare some people by saying this. If you think you have XYZ disease diagnosis, physical thing wrong with you, you won't get better. Ponder that. And relax my body. Drop my shoulders. One of the presenters, Brad, I forget his last name, forgive me. He talked about dropping your shoulders and taking a slow, deep breath. He described that as a micro meditation. And it's wonderful because you can do it anywhere at any time, and it will begin to settle down your nervous system. It will begin to pull you out of the fight or flight response, and it only takes but a second. Drop your shoulders. Nice slow breath. And I've been teaching this and doing it in the beginning of these videos for years. It's really nice to see that confirmed by a medical doctor in this mind-body space. And I like that phrase, micro meditation. But what he said is what I say. When your body is relaxed and you're breathing slowly, your brain can't perceive danger. When the brain perceives danger, we are most likely shallow breathing and tight. Micro meditations. Cool tip. Do it. If you're feeling stressed, do it. Drop the shoulders. Long and slow. Do it a few times. And if you're constantly stressed, do it more. Really important. So, if you think you have X, Y, and Z, illness, disease, medical label, physical, structural problem wrong with you, you won't get better. The example given was, if you think you have Parkinson's, you're not going to get better. Your body's going to continue to tremor because your brain is convinced you've got Parkinson's, and the brain will create that which it expects and believes is the truth. Same thing with MS. If you think you've got MS, it is likely you are terrifying your brain, and the brain will continue to create symptoms that may mimic multiple sclerosis. If you think you've got arthritis causing your pain, your brain will continue to fire the pain signals as if what you believe to be true is true. So what does this all mean? And I'm not saying this to scare you. What I'm saying this for is to encourage you to make a darn decision, right? Understand what creates symptoms. It's the brain's perception of danger. If your perception is that the medical label the doctor gave you is accurate, then your brain's going to stay in fear, perceived danger. If you think you've got long COVID and it's a viral thing, you're not going to get better. Here's a big one, and I know it's very contentious because there are a lot of people who swear on this, but if you think you've been damaged by medicine and you've got, brain injuries, it's going to be really hard for you to get better because a lot of the people in that world believe that there's not a darn thing you can do about it. You just got to wait it out, which I think is a terrifying proposition. I don't believe that because there are plenty of people who use mind-body approaches to dial down the fear and therefore dial down the symptoms of withdrawal. I'm not saying withdrawal symptoms don't happen. What I'm saying is the perception of danger, the amount of fear attributed to that withdrawal symptom, and the belief that you have been injured or damaged by the medications will significantly impact the degree to which the symptoms are there and the length of time to recover. Safety is a solution, folks. I'm not saying real things don't happen. They do. But the brain's perception of danger is always going to determine the intensity and the duration of the symptoms. So if you're walking around saying, yeah, but I've got this, and this wrong with me. I've got long COVID. I've got fibromyalgia. I think I've got MS. I think I've got Parkinson's. I think I've got whatever wild medical diagnosis the doctors have given you or you have self-diagnosed yourself with. It's going to be really tough to teach your brain to turn off the symptoms if your core belief is, I'm sick, I'm broken in this way. So this is not a video to scare the crap out of you and say, well, if you're in doubt, you're never getting better. What I'm encouraging you to do here is get off the darn fence. The number one roadblock to recovery is doubt. Same video, different angle. And I just really wanted to share that because the best minds in mind-body medicine, psychology, coaching, agree that if you think you're broken, your brain's going to keep on behaving as if you are broken. So what do we do about this? Understand the cause, perceive danger. Do the darn assessments. If you've done it before and they're kind of borderline, do them again. To be clear, the FIT assessment, which is at isthispdp.com. Don't ask me in the comments. Isthispdp.com. Jot that down. Now, isthispdp.com. Do the assessments, particularly the second one, FIT assessment. If you answer even one of those questions with a true answer, then your brain is creating the symptoms, not some physical, structural, disease-based process, right? You don't need to answer them all that way. Oh, I have a few TMS things, but not all of them, so it must not be. No, we don't need all of the TMS brain-created symptom characteristics to know that it's TMS, perceived danger pain, neuroplastic pain, which is one of the terms that's used a lot at the workshop. Look for reasons to believe this, not reasons to disbelieve. Because brain science, folks, if your brain thinks you're sick, it's going to turn on symptoms as if you're sick. And I will tell you, if you've gone down the medical route, there's not many options. And in most cases, there's not because they don't really have solutions because a medical doctor using medical treatments can't treat the body for something that's not wrong and is actually created by the brain sounding false alarms. Physical treatments can't work. Maybe placebo, but that's it. So, if you think you've got X, Y, and Z, physical problem, disease, medical label, it's going to be real hard for you to get better. So get off the darn fence. Make a decision. You know, it was amazing talking to people in this space for so long. The stories of healing and recovery we've heard. The conviction that everybody in that room had that we are on the forefront of modern medicine and we are changing lives day by day by understanding what's really going on. You know, and people are like, well, I don't have back pain. It must not apply to me because I've got something else going on. What I've really come away with is that there's virtually no end to the type of symptoms that are created by a brain when it's in that chronic fight or flight perception of danger. And therefore, there's no end to the amount of things people can recover from when they teach their brain to get out of fight or flight, to settle down. Symptoms will settle down when you do. But teach the brain you're really not broken, especially if you're self-diagnosing yourself with stuff. You know, people are like, well, the doctors missed it. My symptoms look a lot like this, so that must be what I have. You're terrifying yourself. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. So, I really implore you to do the assessments. Dr. Schubner, wonderful man. When he was on stage, he said he lives and dies by the FIT assessment, meaning he is so convinced that that is how we determine what something is. Is it mind-body or is it structural? He lives and dies by that. That's how he conducts his whole career. Trust it. These people are brilliant. Clinically, they've dealt with tens of thousands of patients cumulatively. You know, this stuff is real. And it works, folks. This stuff works. There's no downside, only benefit to making a decision that your brain is creating these symptoms and begin to teach your brain that fact. And when the brain believes that you're actually okay, the entire system settles down. The brain operates the autonomic nervous systems and all of the various functions in the body as it should be, with balance, homeostasis, ease. The body can heal. But we got to teach the brain to get out of this panic mode and this misinformation that's causing the brain to keep these symptoms firing as if you were truly sick. And I'm not saying you don't have symptoms. You do. The symptoms are so real. You know, we've had success stories on my channel of people who's got bodily functions not working, feeding tubes, catheters, oxygen, you name it. And they're getting better when they teach their brain they're okay. We have people recovering from rheumatoid arthritis when they teach their brain that they're okay. Get out of chronic fight or flight. The immune system works better. Rheumatoid arthritis can kind of settle down. Search for it. Pain-free you fill. Watch that success story. Here's a guy who made his sole purpose to teach his brain that I'm okay. I'm safe. Get out of fight or flight. He disregarded the diagnosis and said, I'm not going to own that forever. I'm not going to accept that. So there's miraculous recoveries, but they're not miracles. It's how the body and brain works. And so, embrace it. Embrace it. There's no downside, only benefit to teaching your brain that you're okay. Trust the body. Symptoms will settle down when you do. Stop trying so damn hard. If you're trying to recover from a mind-body condition with intensity and vigor and a high achiever approach, you're going to slow things down. There's nothing to fix. We're teaching the brain that we're okay. That starts with understanding what causes symptoms. 2, doing the assessments. 3, accepting that as your cause. And once you've got that, you can begin teaching your brain that you're okay by how you think, act, behave, how you respond to symptoms, staying out of freak out as much as possible, freaking out less, calmly reassuring more, moving towards indifference, How you respond to symptoms is a massive indicator to the brain. Am I in trouble or not? Starting to shift your attention towards doing normal stuff. These things all matter. Teach your brain you're safe emotionally, physically, mentally. I talked before about the micro meditation of drop your body, drop your shoulders, slow, deep breath. Right? Don't believe your own scary, overthinking thoughts. You don't have to believe them. They're wrong. Many of them. Not all of them. But many of these overthinking, scary thoughts are wrong. I did a video yesterday where I was saying, the positive versus negative maybes. Focus on the positives. Hey, maybe I can get better. Maybe this stuff will work for me. Maybe I can do this. Let your brain noodle on that for a while. Give your brain a good intention for the day. How good of a day can I have? How much fun can I have? How little can I freak out and focus on this stuff? Mindset. It's all a mindset game. Don't psych yourself out. Don't convince yourself that you're sick, broken, diseased, ill, damaged, injured. Because if the brain believes that, it's going to act as if it's true, even though it's not. Right? It's called the nocebo. Don't nocebo yourself. Don't accept medical diagnoses when the FIT assessment says it's a mind-body condition. So, this video is going a little bit long, but it's really important. And I've never been more happy to be a part of this community of patients, people like you, doctors, therapists, scientists, psychiatrists. Such a community. It was really awesome. Yeah, I learned some things when people were talking from the stage. I know a lot of you folks are saying, hey, Dan, be sure to tell us all the new stuff. There's not a lot of new stuff. It was very comforting to know that the things I've been teaching are echoed by the folks on stage talking about this stuff. There's not a lot of new stuff. There's new research, which helps build validity and credibility to this movement. But what I've been talking about for years now is on target. This stuff works. You're not sick. You're not broken. Your brain just thinks you are. Teach your brain you're not. Settle things down. Get out of fight or flight. Trust your body. Teach your brain. I didn't come away with 20 new techniques or tips for things that you need to do. What I came away with, even more conviction that you're on the right track. You're in the right place. Accept it. Implement. Know that you're well. Get that light bulb, holy shit moment that says, oh my goodness, I'm really okay. That's your job. Teach yourself that you're okay. And if you can't say that with confidence because you don't feel okay, then teach yourself that I will be okay. Because I'm on the right track. My body's not sick. It's not broken. I don't have a disease. I haven't been injured or damaged. I'm going to be okay. I'm good. So I'm going to wrap it up here. I love you all. It was a great trip out to Boulder. Oh, by the way, funny story. Not so funny. Whatever. So I had to get up this morning at 4 a.m., get in the shower, go to the airport to catch a 7 a.m. flight. So I needed to get there about 5-ish, 5:15, 5:30. 2:15 in the morning, the fire alarm goes off in the hotel. And it didn't shut right off. So I was like, oh, maybe it's not a false alarm like TMS is. So I look out in the hallway. Nothing much is going on. I say to myself, I got to get up in an hour and a half anyway. Fortunately, I packed. So I changed my clothes quick, brushed my teeth, threw my shoes on, grabbed my backpack with the laptop, my suitcase, and go walking down the stairs. By the time I got done getting dressed, knock, knock, knock. Got to evacuate, got to evacuate. I look outside, there's cops going down the hallways. Got to get out. It's not a false alarm. You got to go. There's a real fire. Holy shit. Fortunately, I was packed and ready to go. Took my bags out and Went outside. Everybody's outside in their pajamas and in their, whatever. And called an Uber and went to the airport middle of the night. Because I had to go there in a couple hours anyway. Come to find out, the car somehow ran into the side of the building, caught on fire, and they weren't sure if the whole building was going to catch on fire. But there was smoke. When I went into the hallway, by the time I was leaving, there was smoke in the fire. Somehow some of the smoke was getting in. So that was a legitimate alarm from a legitimate fire. But look, TMS, perceived danger pain, perceived danger symptoms, they're false alarms. You're not sick, you're not broken. Even if you've got some autonomic systems not functioning right, when the brain learns that you're okay, the autonomic nervous system begins to optimize and work better. And all of these things that are not working right will start to work better and eventually work well. And you can get better from the wildest stuff. Go to painfreeyousuccess.com. Look at some of those success stories. Got over 85 right now and counting. I have another 4 or 5 scheduled over the next several weeks. This stuff works, folks. If you decide you're sick, broken, the medical label is what you have, or you self-diagnose yourself, you're doing yourself the biggest disservice. And I know this stuff is hard. And I know so many of you are terrified, petrified that you're really sick. Because it feels like you're really sick. And the symptoms are real. But they're caused by a brain perceiving danger. So please, 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 go back to square one. Learn what causes symptoms. Do the assessments. Make a darn decision to accept it. And begin your primary focus to teach your brain, I'm okay. And if I don't feel okay, I will be okay. Long video today, but well worth it. I love you, folks. I've never been more sure that you're in the right place, that you can and will get better. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I will get better. Just watch me. Smile and know that you're in the right place. Learn. Teach your brain. Implement consistent messages of safety. You can do this, folks. I've heard some of the most incredible stories this past few days. And there's so many incredible people working in this field. So, love you all. And as usual, I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.